Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here and welcome back to another Cardano video. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss an update, as what I do is 100% Cardano content. And I notice the big majority of people watching my videos are not subscribed yet, even though our subscriber numbers have been flying up over the last week or two. A big welcome to everyone, and I really appreciate all the feedback that I have been getting on the past videos, the calculators and stuff like that. There's a lot more of that type of content coming. If you get some value from it, please do give the videos a like, give them a share if you think others can benefit from them, and give me some feedback in the comments so that I can tailor these videos to make sure that they are content that is useful for people out there. So today's video is going to be talking about, is it too late to buy into Cardano? Is the ADA price too high? What is a good price to buy in at? So I'm not going to give you exact prices, but what I'm going to give you is ways that you should look at a market. Because if I give you prices now, they're outdated tomorrow or the next day or anything like that. So I will do some market analysis at the end of this, and there'll be timestamps down below for anyone who wants to jump straight into that. But what I'm going to talk about first is ways that you can look at a market and deciding how to buy in. So you can jump straight in at whatever the current price is, you can set lower prices. So I'm going to talk through all of that and the benefits of each option. I'm going to then show you how to do that on an exchange. I will use Binance for this exchange. Then we will go over to the charts and look at some of the live action price and see what has happened since my last video talking about my targets for this year. So let's jump in. Okay, so the first option you have is to buy at the current market price. Basically, you go onto your exchange and you buy at whatever the current price is. You're looking long term, you don't care about the short term. I'll show you that in a second. Next up then is buying at lower levels. So what you do is you set a limit order on the exchange. You can set multiple levels if you want, or multiple orders, and then if the market drops to them, the order will be executed and you will buy ADA at them levels. Third option is one that I am a fan of, and that is DCA, dollar cost average. So there's two options on this. You could set that every week that you want to spend $50, $100, whatever your limit is, you want to spend that on crypto. In our case, we're going to say ADA in this video. So what you do is you go in and every week you buy your $50 or $100, your $1,000, whatever your personal circumstances and limits are. You buy that the same day every week. Over time, you're going to buy at a lot of different prices, and then you're going to get an average price. So if the market's moving up, you're going to keep getting higher, but normally markets go up and down. So some weeks you're going to get higher prices, some you're going to get lower, but overall you're going to average into the market. The next option is one that I personally like, and that is splitting up your total capital. So if you're coming in, you want to buy $1,000 worth of ADA, what you do is you split that capital into different lump sums. So again, what you could do is take 50% of that and go in at the current market price. Next, what you would do is you split the remainder into 2 or 3 lump sums and you place lower orders in the market for that. So the advantage of this is that if the market skyrockets off, at least you've got half of what you wanted to put into it. But in lots of cases, there's pullbacks in a market. So when you buy in, the markets may dip a bit. So if you buy in and the markets dip down to one of your lower buys, then what that does is it pulls down your average entry price. It gives you a lower entry price. Now, again, you could be saving a few percent in this. So if you're looking long term, as a lot of us are at ADA, then a few percent here and there isn't such a big thing. But let's talk through it anyway. Okay, so just before I go on to the exchange, actually, I am considering building a calculator for this. So I have put it together in Excel, and if people think that it's useful, I will try and build it into a calculator on my website like I've done with the staking calculators. So if people feel this could be of value, then let me know down below as well. Basically, it would work like this. So up here, this is what the current price of ADA is. Again, I would make it look a bit tidier on the website, but it's roughly done in Excel. The functionality works. So the current price is 30 cents. I want to buy into the market with $1,000. You can change these figures around. All of these work and update everything. The levels then is how many lump sums, you want to split your $1,000 or whatever your entry price is, whatever you want to split it into. Increments then is if the market falls 5%, that's where I want my next level to kick in. The first buy then is what you're going to put on your first buy. So I have 50% here. If I change that to 60, you see all of these options up there. Let's leave it at 50 as that's what I am going to talk about when I get onto the exchange. So 50% of your capital. So you have $1,000, 50% of that works out at $500. So what you do is you buy $500 at 30 cents or whatever the current market price is. Then you have two more levels to buy at, $250. And this works out what price you should set it at. So if this is 5%, then that means that my next buy price should be 28.5 cents. If this was 10%, it shows that my next buy price should be at 27 cents. And then the following one then is at 24.3 cents. So again, you can play around with this and see kind of what levels make sense to you. If you are really in this for the long term, maybe you want to put more into your first buy. You want to put 70% in at the market just in case the price goes off without you. Or you could be more conservative and you think the market's going to fall. So what you do is you put in 30% up front and then you keep bigger amounts for if the market drops. Whatever kind of suits your own circumstances and your own risk levels. So looking at the exchange here, this is my Binance account here. Again, I'll just show you the types of orders to go along with what I was saying, and then we'll get into analyzing the current price and where the markets are, where they are looking like going in the short term. So what you would do here is if you're coming in to buy at the market price, you just want to buy, you don't want to mess around. You come in, you do a market order, you put in however many 80 you want. Again, this is the USDT chart here because normally people who watch my videos, look at the charts I post on Twitter and Facebook. You know that I normally look at the ADA Bitcoin price. Before people who are looking to buy into the market new, a lot of people are coming in with fiat, and fiat being USD or Euro or anything like that. So we'll keep this one fairly straightforward. You would have your funds in here. I don't own any USDT, so you can see there's none on this exchange, on this account. What you do is you set market. You put in however many 80 you want to buy, or with Binance, you have this here. So again, you pull this up to however much of your balance you want to spend. So if you put in your full balance, you want to spend 100% of it, pull that up to 100 and press buy. And what that's going to do is it's going to buy at whatever the lowest sell price is on the exchange. And you can see here, these orders here are people who are willing to sell and the prices they're willing to sell at. Down here is what people are willing to buy at. Limit orders then is what you would do if you're setting multiple lower orders. You would come in and you put in, say, you think the market's going to drop to 28 cents. You put in your 28, you put in however many 80 you want to spend. You can see here it would cost 560 USDT. If the price dropped to 28 cents, I would get 2,000 ADA for 560 ADA. So when you press buy, it goes into the open orders and it stays there until either you cancel it or the market drops to that level. Again, if I change this to, I think it might drop to 25 cents, then you can see this brings the total cost of 2,000 ADA would be 500. So if both of them executed, then your average buying price is somewhere in the middle. So I hope that does help with when you're looking at the market, trying to decide how to get into it. What we'll do now is we'll flip over and we'll have a look at the charts, see where they have gone since my last video. So looking at the charts here, this is what happened since then. So I've removed the downtrend line, which would have been going all the way down here. And we have broken way above the 725 mark. So the price basically went parabolic in the last few days and it had huge gains. We went right up and through 982 and got the big rejection. So you can see this 982 is starting to become a fairly solid resistance. Here, and here we've hit it against the Bitcoin price. Again, I'd drawn in this extra line when I was putting out some of the charts on Twitter because, again, it had been an important level back here. And then you can see we eventually did get up through it. We come back down, and if I go in on a shorter time frame, We'd gone up, we come down, and we hit this level and bounced back up. We come back down to it today, and my charts earlier were talking about trying to hold this level and start to build some support here. We've went down through it because Bitcoin actually made a run for 40k in the last 2 hours. It broke through 40 but hit a major rejection then, and that is what has impacted our price here. Because look, Bitcoin is still going to be the market leader. It is still going to, it's going to lead, and every other currency is going to follow. I do think that ADA is going to outperform Bitcoin this year, and we just have to wait. The Bitcoin price is going to pull and drag our USD price, but I think ADA will outperform the Bitcoin price as it did last year. With all of the stuff that's coming up this year, I do think that any price you get in at now in ADA, I think that when we look back on them prices in a year or two, you're not going to be worried about whether you bought at 30 cent or 28 cent or 31 cent or whatever it is. I think that them prices will all seem small in the long run. So do I still think that ADA is a buy? Most definitely long term, I think ADA is a buy. Are we going to see more of a pullback at the minute? Potentially. Yes, I think we may have a little bit more downside. What I'm personally looking for on the chart is to settle in around this 831. So what I want to see us doing in, hopefully by the end of today, we might even make a push up. It is getting later in the day now, but settling in around here, and over the next day or two, build some support around here. If we get above the 831, build some support at that level that we can then start to push up towards that 982 again and finally get through it over the next week or so. Look, this really fast run up here, there was always going to be a pullback. If we can build up slower this time, get some support around here and start building on that and push up through it. There's a lot of big stuff coming from Cardano. There's a lot of interest starting to build. I can already see that on my own channel, people searching out these types of videos. Okay, so I do hope that this has been of some help to you, how to get into the markets first with the 3 different options there. And overall, I do feel that right now, the prices in Cardano, yes, we have had some huge growth over the last few weeks, especially the last few days. But I think when we look back at these prices in 1-2 years time, that we're not going to be worried about whether you got in at 25 cent, 28 cent, 30, 31 cent, whatever it is. I think the prices are going to be substantially higher than they are right now. Again, look, this is crypto. You have to assess your own financial situation, where you are, can you afford to take the risk that is cryptocurrency? For me, the risk or the rewards, the potential rewards far outweigh the risk for me personally, but everyone has to make that decision for themselves because look, nothing is guaranteed in this. I personally think prices, Bitcoin, ADA, lots of other coins out there are going to be a lot higher over the coming months and coming years, and for me, that is worth taking the risk. So thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate any feedback down below. Let me know if that extra calculator would be of use to people, and I will talk to you very soon. Like, subscribe, and give it a share if others can benefit. Thanks for watching, guys.